Salina. It's a bad baby. Oak Cliff girl. Can't make you change my world. Damn, you're so fine, girl. Oak Cliff girl. Put them wheels on and roll.
Welcome to Selena's Couch, where you are welcome to be free to be yourself. So you can lay your head on my couch, on my pillows.
It's all good. We can do whatever we wanna do now. I'm in my bag right now, and I got a feeling, babe. Yeah, you gon' be my number one lover. Spend the night making love to each other. With the lights on top of the covers. Just me and you, babe. And I feel like you're my
Love you to Reese's Pieces.
Get you a word. Nana nana boo boo.
Hey y'all, how's everybody doing today? I am just trying to do a little I'm not gonna say a little. I'm gonna hopefully I'll be having my guest with me, John. He's gonna be coming through. We're gonna talk a little bit about some things that, maybe it's a little different for some people, but hey, I want you guys to have an open mind and really just have an open mind and be willing to be informed. And John is when I met him, it was really a interesting situation, actually. I was getting my eyebrows done, right? I was getting them done, and my friend Millie was telling me about her friend, which was named John, and that he was coming by. And I was like, okay. So I didn't think anything of it. We started talking, and he was telling me about he had a YouTube channel, and I was telling him about, mine and everything. And so we just really kind of hit it off. And then I heard his story, and it really I was like, you know what? I gotta have you on my live. I just gotta have you on here. So I'm really excited about this. I just want to cam up. Yes. How are you guys doing? Thank you for coming through. Lonnie, she's doing another live. Hey, Richie Rich, what's good? What's up, Mr. Skinny? What's up, Commander? What's up, Gotham? Thank you so much for coming through. If it's nothing but just to press the like button, I appreciate you for coming through. They say blondes have more fun. So, hey, I'm just trying it out. It's the fall. So, I'm trying to do a little something different. I'll be in my black hair tomorrow. So I just wanted to switch it up. Hey, CX, how are you? How are you doing? I hope everybody is doing well. Thank you so much. Now I got my buddy. I want to introduce him to you guys. His name is John. We don't have to know the last name, but John is, like I told you, I gave you a little introduction. He has a very interesting story. Some people would not even believe his story. So I'm so glad to introduce John. Thank you so much for coming through.
Hey y'all, thank you, Selena. You look good.
Thank you. So I done turned into a blonde, John.
Yes, blondes have more fun. They do. I need to dye mine again.
I'm glad to see you. Thank you for joining me today, and my good people that's in the chat, and those who will go back and look at the playback. Now, John, I want you to tell me what you thought about me when you first met me. Like, your honest opinion. You won't hurt my feelings. Just tell me what.
You know what? When I first met you, it's always tricky when my friends have a client, because I know that's a personal time.
Right.
And so I just felt like you just wanted your personal time with Millie, So
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I was kind of intruding a little bit, until she started introducing me. But your attitude was already popping, you know what I'm saying? Like,
okay.
When you got up, I think it was a better perception, I guess, in my perspective. Because I got to see you face to face, instead of talking to you while you was getting your
right.
eyebrows. but I loved your attitude and the fact that you asked to interview me. That was what sparked my interest. I was like, you know what, I've never been interviewed before for for this specific topic. I mean, although I've talked about it, but
Right, right.
yeah. So I just thought, I was like, you know what, I said. Uh, well, I was thinking if I should do it or not, actually. You know what I'm saying? So I was like,
Mhm.
should I do it? Should I put myself out there? And I was like, you know what? I should just go ahead and do it.
And
Millie's
I'm glad you
she's in Millie's
did.
chair. You know what I'm saying? I was like, she's in Millie's
Yeah.
chair. She gotta be good people. So
Yes. And hey, Cutting Edge. Hey, Commander. Got him. Thank Golton. I'm sorry. Thank you for coming through. Um, yeah, I am so thankful that you came and because I know you probably, telling your story, it can be a little scary. You have to be,
yeah.
I guess faced with people's judgments of you, and things of that nature. So it can be a little scary,
Yeah.
especially, being public about a lot of things. Let me ask you, tell me a little bit about yourself, how you grew up and yeah, I want to start there.
All right. Well, I grew up in Texas. I'm Texas born. And I'm from East Texas, actually, Jefferson area.
Hmm.
So I moved to Dallas when I was probably 2 years old, and I've been here ever since. But I have two. Actually, you know what? Let me tell you something. My parents have been together for 52 years.
Wow.
52 years. It's very rare. So um, I grew up in a household where I was never judged for my gender. You know what I'm saying? Because it's actually in my DNA.
Hmm.
And uh, thank God my parents never shunned me for that.
You're right.
I have two sisters. One of my sisters was on The Voice season 7, and then I have another sister who just finished up a podcast on Kevin Hart's radio station. It
Right.
was called Love Thing. Yeah,
Hmm.
so I have two sisters. I'm the youngest and the only boy, kinda. uh,
Yeah,
um,
kind of. Okay.
yeah, but my childhood was kind of rough. You know what I'm saying? Because um, I didn't identify with other guys. When my body never. First of all, I didn't. My body never started shaping out like a guy. I had to
Okay.
actually take testosterone shots.
Okay.
So yeah, I had gone to get a physical, and based off of my physical, basically, you know how like guys' nuts drop. You know what I'm saying? At a certain age, my nuts didn't drop. You know what I'm saying? They're supposed to be undropped. They didn't drop, basically, and so that
Okay.
is technically called. Well, it's different terms for it, but it's called Klinefelters. And so I went to go to a specialist, and then they did some tests, and it just turned out that basically I have an extra female chromosome. You know what I'm saying? So I had to take testosterone shots so my body could shape out like a guy because my body naturally produces estrogen. Even though I don't have no period, I don't have. We'll get on that in a minute.
Okay.
I don't have none of that stuff. Any of those issues, but I had to take testosterone shots so my body could shape out like a guy. So
Okay.
growing up, it was just kind of difficult because I didn't have anybody to identify with.
So let me
Body
ask
wise.
you this, John. So when you were growing up as a little boy, right?
You're right.
Did did your parents ever say, you know, explain to you that you were a little different, or did you notice that you were a little different when you were a child? Like, mommy or dad, why am I look like this and the other boys look like this? Like, did you ever experience that?
So I was okay. So I was pretty much in private school from the time I moved to Dallas until like the third or fourth grade, and
Mm-hmm.
third grade, and so I was really sheltered. I was really kept at home a lot. Not necessarily kept at home a
Right.
lot, but I used to. Uh, Both my parents were working parents, So
Uh-huh.
by the time I came along, it's a long story, but by the time I came along, they both had, they both had jobs, and it was long hours, and they just had conflicting shifts. So it wasn't
Mhm.
like I was around a whole lot of other kids per se,
Mhm.
like as far as getting dropped off at a babysitter,
Right.
uh, it wasn't really, and then the church I grew up in. was had a private school, so it wasn't like we didn't have PE time like that. So it wasn't a chance for me to see any other kids' bodies during that time. I didn't realize I was different until I got into public school, basically.
Mhm.
So yeah, that was just crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you were going through that and you were seeing, I am a little different. Did you gravitate more to girls, like wanting to play dolls and wanting
Yeah.
to do makeup? Like, were you drawn more to that than going and playing football or
You know
basketball?
what? Yeah, I still don't know all the rules to football. I'll be having to look it up every time it comes on. But
Right, right.
um, but yeah, I was never. Now I was an outdoors kid. We didn't. I grew up in an era where it wasn't cell phones didn't exist. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mhm.
uh, yeah. So I was always outside. I was an outside kid, but I wasn't necessarily a rough kid. I never played football, didn't do basketball. Now I did play with dolls. I did used to always play with my sister's dolls, and she used to get mad at me and,
Mhm.
and tell me these are for girls,
Right.
uh, that sort of thing. I guess I did play with dolls. I guess if you could say that,
Mhm.
but I never was a sportsy kind of. Well, I did play sports, but it wasn't. I played baseball, like minor league, whatever.
Mhm.
But really, I was on the team, but I never went. We never geared up.
Oh gosh.
But
So you was
it was like
look,
through
you
my
was on the
church.
bench.
It was through my church, but
Right.
yeah, I never did any physical sports like that. No.
So did kids treat you differently or did they look at you like you're weird? Like did you ever get that type of energy from other kids?
Not growing up as a young kid. Maybe when I
Uh-huh.
got to like my teens, when my body wasn't, well, like maybe like eighth, ninth grade, when my body
Right.
wasn't, I was like, clearly my body's different,
Yeah.
and by the time I got into the eighth grade, I was already taking testosterone shots as well too. So
Hmm.
and I had breasts.
Wow.
Yeah, I had breasts. So I actually got liposuction when I was in the 10th grade. But
Hmm.
uh, between the time that I got liposuction and the time that I had breasts, I did used to get teased a lot. And actually, it was, now that I think about it, that was sexual assault. People coming up to you and just touching, just feeling me, or just, that's
Hmm.
sexual assault in a sense. I mean, shit, it's
So
been
when
30
you were
years.
going
So,
through that, to me that seems really painful. Because you're feeling like I'm supposed to be a boy, but I don't really
right.
look like a boy all the way. So
Right.
were you ever like confused, like should I be a girl or should I be a boy? Were you ever had confusion in that way?
Okay, I'm so glad you asked that. So going back to when I found out that I had Klinefelter's, basically,
Uh-huh.
syndrome. That's what it's called, or gynecomastia. I don't know. It's one of the two.
Hmm.
When I found that out, before I chose to take testosterone shots, I had the chance to choose if I wanted to be a boy or girl.
You had the chance. Okay.
The doctor, I remember the doctor telling me, "Do you want to be a boy or a girl?" And you know what? Looking back at it, I didn't know anything about the gay life or none of that shit. I kind of feel like I maybe should have. My life would have been totally different if I would have chosen to not take testosterone shots.
Hmm.
And just
Been a
I don't
girl.
know. I do think about that.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I just I don't know.
Now,
I
I
don't
don't want to
know.
get too graphic or into your business like that, but
Mhm.
you said, "Hey, you said, Selena, you can ask me, anything." I said, "Okay, now I'm gonna ask you some things. I don't want to be too invasive, but I do have to ask you because most people want to know. Like, you had breasts, right? Did
Yes.
you have a vagina?
No.
Okay, so if
But
you did, okay,
yes. But when I was in my mother's womb, they didn't detect the dick.
Okay.
If that makes sense. So they thought I was a guy, a girl, and then when I came out,
Oh,
yeah. So I don't know if the technology wasn't up to then, to date or whatever, but yeah, yeah.
yeah. Because you're 80s baby like me, right? Yeah.
Right. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So it may not have been, but okay. So with you, you seeing that you have breasts and the doctor gave you like, hey, what do you want to be? So if you wanted to be a girl, you felt like your life would be much easier being a woman than a man?
You know what? I'm gonna be real with you. You know what? Okay. Later on, after I graduated high school, I ended up, being in the Dallas gay life or whatever, so to say,
Mhm.
and I got to know transgendered women, but these women had breasts, but and they had their penis still. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I just looking at it now, I just know that if I were to have chosen that life or whatever, I
Right.
feel like it would have kind of been hard because I have to look at where transgendered women are right now. A lot of them are getting slaughtered. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And killed and stuff like that, or just set up, or just I don't know. That's a question I can't really answer that. I
Mhm.
I can't say if it would have been easier.
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know. I just felt like as a kid I had a dick. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't know anything about being gay. I didn't, all that was brand new to me, hearing all that.
Mhm.
So I had to make a choice. I was like, well, I have a dick, so I'm
So
just
how
gonna
did
be a
you
guy.
know how did you know that you were gay?
It wasn't necessary. Okay, so how did I know that I was gay? Let's see. That's a difficult question. I don't know if I'm ready prepared to answer that. But uh, I was molested as a kid by one of my cousins. So that was the first sex that I had messed around with. But it was a kid. So I don't know. I maybe it was a thing that I was already used to it.
Mhm.
My cousin
Okay.
was around the same age as me, so it wasn't like he was my older cousin, nothing like that. He was around the same age.
Oh.
I just want to clear that up. So I don't know I don't know. That's another question that can be expressed through other people, because I don't really have a straight up answer for that.
So, and kids when they are doing, I would say, self-discovery, right? As kids, most of us have done it. You the mama, I'm the daddy, that kind of thing. Playhouse, right? And
Yeah,
really sometimes, and I'm not making light of it, kids actually be molesting each other, you know what I'm saying? Or they
yeah,
introduce, the other to something more sexual. I remember playing house when I was a kid, and
yeah,
I remember it was me and my friend. She want and I knew then. I said, well, for me, I said, I'll be the mama, but I don't want you touching me, or nothing like that, but I knew then it was a little, a little strange for me because I was used to always seeing a male and a female, but we was just having fun. But we never, I didn't, never let her kiss me or nothing like that. But I
yeah,
was introduced to some things from other children because they
yeah,
knew about it. I was like
yeah,
you, I was a little bit more sheltered. So a lot of
yeah,
things I was not introduced to until I was around other kids that were. You know what I'm saying?
right,
So
right.
with your cousin doing that, it introduced you to something um, that was uncomfortable, but at the same time, it made you feel good, right? Or how was your experience with that?
I wouldn't say necessarily made me feel good instantly, but I definitely vibe everything you just said about childhood and growing up and things like that. And also, I want to stress the fact that I had never even known about sex prior to that.
Because you were
My
sheltered.
parents, I never. I hadn't,
Mhm.
yeah, I never seen my parents, fuck. Oh, it's my bad. I'm trying to,
That's
that was,
be your look, be yourself. Like you see my
right.
title, this is who I am. Love it or keep rocking.
Right. So even even still, I still don't want to, of course, but think about that, right? My parents, but I've never seen them intimate like that. You know what I'm saying? Or even the fact, even seeing porn at the time.
Hmm.
I think, you know what, the closest I had seen porn was, I used to watch HBO. It was Real Sex or something like that.
Hmm.
I think that's the closest to porn I had ever seen.
Wow.
If you can, yeah. So it wasn't like, but that was after the fact. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? It wasn't like before the fact.
Right. So he introduced you to it. I want you to, can you kind of take me just if it's not too much, if it's not too invasive, can you take me to the point where, he introduced you to these feelings? How were you feeling at the time when he was doing certain things to you that you never, was aware of or, exposed to?
Definitely, like, yeah, like anything else. Like it was, well, not like anything else, but that was just a different sensation. I didn't know what to feel. I had never. That's hard to explain because that's something that had happened. That was the first time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like I had something to compare it to. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so I can't really tell you if I liked it or not at the time because I had never done it, but I knew I don't know. I just never done it, So
Mm-hmm.
and it never happened like several times with my cousin, nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
It was just that one time. So it wasn't more so like we did it again. So I had something to compare it to with him. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But I guess what I'm trying to say is that I guess I just felt more comfortable with guys because I had already had my first experience with a guy. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so I think it's more so that uh, than anything. I mean, because like when I was a kid, I never mind. I'm not even gonna express that. I don't want you to lose no followers because it's.
I
I don't want
mean,
you to lose no followers. No, no, no.
this is the thing. I am with me interviewing people. My your thoughts and your opinions and how you feel about things, that is not my thoughts or my opinions or my even my experiences. You know what I'm saying? These are
Right,
your
right,
experiences. So I want to
right.
make
Okay,
sure that I make a comfortable, place for you to be free to express yourself. Now, if people are not comfortable with it, they'll, maybe find a live that I'll do that they are comfortable with. But I want people to know that, to be informed about some things. And even if you don't want to be informed about it, just to have an understanding of how people, you know, how people see things or how people discover themselves. A lot of the times when we come, well, most of the time when we come into this world, we're a clean slate. Like
right,
there's nothing that's impressed upon us until we live and we are around other people and we learn different behaviors. We have different appetites because of our experiences. So I just want people to either listen to be informed or listen to understand.
right,
You
right.
know what I'm saying? So um I told you from the beginning, I really want you to be free to be yourself. And this is a no judge free zone because at the end of the day, we have a judge that's going to judge all of us. And it ain't me and it's not you. Okay.
Okay. Bet. All right. So with that being said, okay, it can get a little uncut. Okay, so I'm gonna take that back. Okay, so my first time having sex was with a guy, but my first time actually experiencing a girl, I used to go to church school, and
Hmm.
it's gonna sound crazy, but we was in church school, and this one girl was like, "Hey, you wanna see something?" And
Uh-huh.
she opened up. She had a skirt on. I was with kids, She opened her legs. It was her pussy, and she was like, "Put your finger in it." And so I put my finger in it. And we was at
Right.
church, and I smelled it. And after it stunk, But that's a little girl, So I can't say. I don't know. Maybe
Okay.
that steered me away from pussy or something. I don't know. I don't know. But
Okay.
good
Hold on.
times.
Hey, we all experience different things. But that's your experience.
That was my experience, right? So
Yeah.
I stuck my fingers in her, and I smelled it afterwards, and it stunk, And I was just like, oh, I don't know about pussy. Well, not necessarily at that time.
Hmm.
I didn't have those thoughts at that time. Like I wasn't that intelligent to think pussy stinks.
How old were you at the time?
Probably 7.
7.
Yeah,
Okay. And so how old were you when you had the experience with your cousin, your
I
male
was
cousin?
9. I was 9.
9.
Yeah,
Okay. So that impression was on you at 7, and then at 9 you have this other experience with another male. You're starting to sway towards males because
no,
it
no. Wait. What you said? I only had. Okay, you said I had. Say that again. I didn't hear. I didn't hear
okay.
it
So the
correctly.
experience you had when you were 7, it
Yes.
was disgusting to you. You was like, I don't like how this smells. I don't think, I don't know if I want something like this at 7, right? Is that kind of what you were thinking? You're thinking maybe.
Kind of. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
at that time, eat
I didn't
boys.
say it was disgusting. I just know
Well,
it stunk.
well, boys at that time, boys and girls, we hate each other at that time. You know what I'm saying? We act
Right.
like,
Right.
we like each other, but we hate each other at the same time.
Right.
Somebody
Right.
pulling your pigtails or something like that, or calling you ugly. But at the same time, they want you to be their girlfriend. So you go through that at that young age, 7, 8, I would say even 9 and 10. You're going through
Right. Yeah.
that love and hate
Then.
relationship.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. So then once you had the situation with your cousin who was 9, your you were exposed to something different, right?
Right.
Something you never experienced before. You the first experience that you had with the girl, it wasn't pleasurable. You didn't like it. But then you had this experience and it was different and you didn't know what to think about it, I don't think. I think you were confused. You didn't know what to think.
Yeah. And you know what? Also, I didn't socialize that with sex either.
Okay.
I didn't know that's what that was.
Mhm.
I think I more so associated that with sex when I was a little older, because after that happened with my cousin, it didn't happen anymore. You know what I'm saying? And so the next time I think would probably be when I was probably in high school, I think.
So did your cousin just stop doing it, or you didn't want your cousin to do that to you anymore? What happened? Why did he um those experiences stop? Because usually they are ongoing sometimes.
Yeah. So with this particular cousin, he wasn't actually my blood cousin. So the church I
Okay.
grew up in, uh, I we were one of the first 11 families to start the church. It's actually a mega church in Dallas. I don't want to name it, but it's a mega church, and so the kids. Okay, so sometimes we would have church at other people's homes, right?
Mhm.
Somebody new or whatever, we would go to their homes, or when we had new members, because we didn't have an actual church at the time. So it just started in people's homes at first, and so I think so basically people attending the church have kids, our age or whatever, and so they just used to spend the night sometimes, you know. So it wasn't necessarily a consistent thing.
Mhm.
Uh, yeah, it wasn't a consistent thing, because after that happened, I actually didn't see him again for a long ass time, but I didn't correlate maybe why I didn't see him, but then later on I found out that he was adopted as well too, and that he had come him and his brother and his sister had come from a woman who was a prostitute, and
Wow.
so they saw a lot of sex, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So Yeah.
So how did he turn out? Did his sexuality, turn from there? Did he was he into men or was he into women?
I really don't know because I mean we actually went to the same school. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So uh, it wasn't. After like I said, I left there in third grade. So after I left there in third grade, I never really saw a lot of those. I still haven't seen a lot of those people anymore
Mhm.
that I was going to school with. It wasn't a whole lot of them. It was probably like a good 15, but I still haven't seen them still to this day. But I saw him on Facebook the other day, and he has like 6 kids. So I mean, I guess he
Wow.
like pussy.
Okay, now look, we gotta say cookie instead of the
Oh,
p
my bad.
word.
Okay,
Okay,
okay, man. See, yeah, that's
yeah,
I
yeah,
knew it was a trick.
yeah. Just that part, just cookie. Okay,
Okay,
so
cookie. My bad. I just
or
was, yeah.
of course, vagina or whatever. But but let me ask you this question. So that experience happened when you were 9. So you become a preteen. Are your thoughts starting to change? Like, are your tastes like, I think that guy's cute, or why am I feeling this way? Did you ever have any feelings where you were like, you started feeling like you were more attracted to the same sex?
Yeah. But let me remind you, I never. Okay. Um, during the time when I was taking testosterone shots, this like steroids basically.
Hmm.
So steroid, I don't know if you know this, but steroids make you big, and
Yes.
so I had a lot of weight on me. I actually weighed probably closer to 300 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, I was pretty fat.
Okay.
So, well, I think the largest I was, it was 275, which is damn near 300.
Hmm.
So, I also had breasts. So I basically look like a big stud.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So I just always used to get hit on by women, like gay women a lot. I did as a teen.
Because they thought you were a stud.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, they thought I was a
I don't
stud.
know why
So,
I'm laughing, but yeah.
so what I actually wanted to attract was not, everybody thought I was a girl. Even still to today. Well, I guess technically I am, but even still today, when I go to the bar, people are like, "Are you a man or a woman?" And I always tell them, "Yes." That's just my
Yeah.
answer. Yes, and I walk
Okay.
off.
So you had to take those shots, and you had some estrogen. You had a lot of estrogen that you were trying to basically, uh, you know, I would say not get rid of the estrogen because men and women both have estrogen and testosterone, but to
Right.
say,
I guess
men have
balance it
more,
out.
yeah,
Yeah.
kind of balance it out. So when you were going through that and men, women start to flirt with you and stuff like that because they thought you were stud, but your attraction wasn't for women, right? Your
No.
attraction was more for, you liked men, and that, I mean, boys, because when did you know? You said when you were 16, or what age were you when you had your experience with the male and you were like, I'm gay?
So I think more. So I might have been like 17, going on 18.
Okay.
I had gotten put out of my parents' house because I had a boyfriend,
Oh,
and
wow.
he was old. He was that. Now that I think about it, he was a pedophile. He was 23, and I was 18.
Hmm.
But I mean, I don't know. He had his own apartment, and so I don't know. So my you remember those phones that used to go around the whole house
Hmm.
with the
Yeah.
long ass cord? We had one of them,
Right, right,
and
right,
you could pick up and hear the conversation.
right.
I think my mama had got me like that one time. She had picked it up and heard the conversation, and I got put out the house, and so I went to go stay with my boyfriend at the time.
Hmm. So when you had that experience, with the guy that you're telling me about, because that was your like first like sexual experience, besides, the, I wouldn't count the molestation, but was that your first experience with a male that?
Yeah, he was either, yeah. I think he was my first or my second,
Okay.
technically, right? He was, yeah, he was.
I don't know.
I
I
mean,
wasn't
just
there.
nine, this is nine. So he
Uh-huh.
was my second, basically. So I guess I lost my virginity when I was nine, basically.
Okay. Okay. So this is very interesting. And again, the interviewee's thoughts and opinions and ideals and all of that, what he's saying, it's not of me, but I wanted to give John a platform because a lot of times we judge things when we don't understand things. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right,
And everybody has something going on. We all have things that people judge us for, you know what I'm
right,
saying?
right,
But I've always said you don't have to please anybody but God, you know what I'm
right,
saying? That's the
right.
only person that you need to worry about, and it really the only.
Right.
And that's for those who believe in God. But I will
I
say
believe in
this.
God too. So
And see, I want to go back there because you told me that your parents are very traditional, I would think, parents. They're very conservative. They, have a standard that they want, you and your siblings to live by. And with them finding out that you were gay, um, how was your relationship? I know you said that they had at one point kicked you out when they found out about the 20-year-old male. When they did find out at the very beginning that you were gay, did you ever feel like it was wrong?
um well, when I came to grips that I was gay, I think I was in high school. But no, my parents never judged me. They never told me it was wrong because it's already in my genetics. Because technically I have 49.9% of my mom's DNA and the rest is my father's. So you know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to have half and half, basically.
Right,
So I have more percentage technically, and I'm naturally more uh, feminine as well. I don't
right.
really have an Adam's apple. I have an Adam's apple, but it's not really there.
Hmm.
Then also, I don't know. I don't get a lot of body hair. My body still is shaped like a girl right now.
Right.
Uh, I don't think it was that far fetched from them. I
Hmm.
just I don't know. I don't really don't know how they are feeling about that, but I do know that they never judged me. They never told me it was wrong to be gay or I was going to hell because I chose to sleep with men.
Hmm.
Uh, that conversation has never happened, and it still hasn't. Um, I have a good relationship with my parents. Well, you know, we speak. I don't hate them or nothing like that. It's just like any other, I guess, parent and child,
Right.
relationship. Uh, it's not like we're friends, but
Right.
I definitely respect them and I love them. They've never judged me. They never
Mhm.
put me at the house for being gay. They put me at the house because I had a boyfriend that was 23. You know,
Oh, yeah. Okay. So that
yeah,
that was more of the reason why. Okay, that's what I
yeah.
wanted to understand.
And I might
Um,
have been a very disrespectful too. I don't know. I can't really remember.
you
I
seem like
know
you,
I
John. It
had
seemed
ass
like you got
shot.
a mouth on you. That's what it seemed like. I don't know. I might be right about that. It seemed like you got a mouth, and your mama
That's
had
it.
to backslap you a couple times. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you really have an interesting story. So you went through the situation where your parents know, hey, you're gay, right? And in a way, I believe that it's parts of you, like you said, you're more feminine. You have a lot of qualities like a woman. And to
Right.
be honest with you guys, when I saw John, I thought you was a transgender male.
Yeah. See,
I
Boo
really
Boo.
did. And I'm not trying to be funny or sarcastic or anything. I really thought you were a transgender male. So because his body is shapely, um, and men's bodies are pretty much muscular. Most of them are straight up and down, not a lot of hips or anything like that. Not a lot of, butt or anything. So,
Right.
uh, I really thought could have been, and just looking at you. But that's what was interesting about you when I heard your story. I said, I've never talked to anyone that had that, that
Right.
had those more chromosomes, especially from the mother. And I've never heard of that. Well, I heard of it, but I've never seen it up front. I've seen some, you know, I would say things on YouTube when they talk about hermaphrodites. And basically, and
It's
I'm not trying to be
real.
disrespectful to you, but that's
Yeah.
basically what some of your condition may be called in that,
Right.
um, I'm like I said, I'm really trying my best not to be disrespectful,
Now you're
because
doing
I'm
good.
trying
You're
to
doing good.
understand.
Look, I'm damn near 40. Okay, I done been disrespected.
Mhm.
And I do hair. So look, I done talked to all kind of people. I done cussed all kind of people. I done got into with mamas, daddies, uncles, preachers, doctors, lawyers. I used to have a really bad attitude, as you can see. Really did. You
That's
know
what
what I'm
I
saying?
said.
But
Uh-huh.
doing business helped me actually. Uh, be bold and step to people right in their face and tell them exactly what the fuck they telling me, you know?
Mhm.
So that's just what it is. But I choose not to go to that route. But if I do, it's gonna come right out.
Mhm. Do you ever hate the way that God made you?
No, you know what? No, I don't. Because I don't hate the way God made me. Even though I know it's very rare for me to have this 47 chromosomes instead of 46.
Mhm.
Uh I love myself, you know what I'm saying? No, I never thought that I hate myself because God made me different.
Mhm.
But I do always think about, kind of touching on what you just asked me earlier about, do I think I chose the wrong gender?
Mhm.
I do think about that often. So I can't say I necessarily hate what God made me. I just always think about what it could have been,
And let me
done
let me
something
clarify
else.
that when I say that, I'm talking about with him having 47 chromosomes, right? That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about, his sexual orientation or anything of that nature. I'm talking about, you know,
The
his
genetics. Yeah.
genetic part of it, and because that is different, I don't
Right.
your case is very rare
Yeah.
that happens.
But you know what? I did a 23andMe, and it helped me learn a little bit more about what's actually in my DNA. And
Mhm.
I have Egyptian blood, and turns out, uh, Aden, whoever Aden or Akin, whatever his name was,
Mhm.
he had the same thing I did. Him and Nefertiti, they were both basically, I guess they were hermaphrodites. He had titties and a dick, and she did too.
And that's probably why some of those different statues that you see, they look like they have both male and female parts. I don't know if you've ever seen some of the pharaohs and some
Yeah,
of
I
those
have.
statues, and you're like, okay, they look like they could be a man or a woman. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
that's pretty interesting. So when you say, how did you said when you found out through the 23, the DNA testing,
Right.
how they basically said that you had Egyptian blood, or what did they put that
Yeah,
up
so
with?
so
What type?
I'm on the male side. I am in the same bloodline as Ramses the third, which is the last pharaoh. that
That is
existed.
very odd. I've never heard
Yeah,
anybody tell me that.
yeah.
That's pretty interesting. I might need to take that. I wonder what I got in mind. But that
If
is,
I can do a screen recording, if I can share my screen, I don't know if I can do that.
yeah, you can.
I can show you. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see.
That is pretty
Uh,
interesting.
Now I'm on the browser. It's not gonna cut off, is it?
I don't think so. Let me see. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Just try it out and see. But I think that's pretty. I've never heard that. But if you notice,
Okay.
most of those, I'm not gonna say paintings, but you know some of the, paintings that they had on the walls and things of that nature. Those Egyptians did look like they could be male or female, and so it's pretty interesting. That was happening even back then.
So I need
Um,
some help. How do I do mirroring? I don't. But I just
You
got this.
know what? Let me see.
Am I? Okay. Wait.
I really don't know. I'm still not that computer savvy. But
Um.
don't worry if you can't figure it out, don't worry about it.
Hold on.
But
Let me see. Hold on. Let's see. What's this?
hey Dimple, hey everybody. Thank you for coming through. I really appreciate everybody that came through. Hey Oliver, good to see you.
I don't know what
J-
I pushed. Hold up. Let's see.
Jade. Yeah, don't worry about it, John. Let's keep it moving. What's up, Lon?
Okay. What? Am I still on here? I can't even see my. Let me
I
see.
can see you.
You can't. Okay. Okay.
I
Hold
can
on.
see you.
It's just tripping on
Yeah.
my end, I guess. I mean, I can see
So
myself in the little window.
basically you accept it. This is the way I am. I have 47 chromosomes. I look this way.
Yeah.
How did you just become okay with being you? I'm interested in that.
How did I become okay with being me? Um. Well, I guess maybe I more so became okay with being me after high school. After I graduated, I ended up uh, taking a enrolling in Mountain View College, and I took a workout class,
Mm-hmm.
and it lasted for it was a summer program, but I think that particular class lasted for 3 months, or I think I took it twice, and I
Uh-huh.
ended up losing like 150 pounds. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
So I started looking different. So yeah, so I had never been skinny before. You know what I'm saying? Not to mention, I stopped taking testosterone shots before I graduated. So at 18, I'm still supposed to be taking them right now.
Okay.
So I stopped taking them at 18 because I just decided I didn't want to take them anymore. They have all kind of side effects.
Mhm.
They were making me fat. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I didn't have no facial hair. Still look like a big old stud. You know what I'm saying? I was just over it. You know what I'm saying? So I was just
Right.
like, fuck it, fuck it. I'm just lose some weight. I need to lose some weight. I knew I needed to lose some weight.
Mhm.
So I think after I lost weight, I started seeing myself different because I had never seen that person before.
Mm.
I just liked it. So I mean, who else am I gonna be? I don't have no
Mm.
choice. This is me. So I don't know. It was more so of, and I also think later on I've realized, what also helped me out. I realized that my parents had a big impact on me because a lot of gay guys that I ended up running across later on, their parents had put them out for them being gay. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right, right.
Let alone it was very rare for their parents to still be together.
Mhm.
So I think that coupled with um, that opened my eyes to see more so how grateful I actually am.
Mhm.
And thankful that my parents never judged me for that, for something that's in my genetics. Um, I don't know. That's an interesting question.
So you never felt because you had your parents understood that you had 47 chromosomes. That's how you came into the world. They had more of an understanding with you. So it was kind of like in a way, to me, I felt like your parents just, they loved you in spite of,
Right.
because some parents that have children that are homosexuals, or they are transgender, or a part of the LGBTQ. I don't know all the the letters, but
Right.
uh, they're not as accepting as
Exactly.
maybe, or understanding as your um, parents were. How
And
about,
and and and
okay?
thankfully, my dad, my parents came from a medical history background. You know, they both went to Meharry Medical School. They're not doctors right now, but they went to Meharry Medical School. You know, and so I think based off of, I just think that my dad more so, even still to this day, he's very medical termy. You
Hmm.
know, he uses medical terms and things like that. But I think also he knew more of it because that's his era. You know, that's his
Right,
field
right.
than I did. So it was actually nothing nobody could do anything about. You know, so I was already here. Uh, it's like I didn't pick my own genetics. You know,
Hmm.
so it was just more so, yeah, just like you said, they love me still. And you know, and let me tell you this, I that me my parents loving me still is a reason why I had got into it with a lot of my gay friends later on down the road.
Parents.
Yeah, even though we had stuff in common and things like that, I think that's what it was.
Hmm. Did you grew up in the church,
I
and
did.
um there's a lot of times that people will make you feel a certain way. I was always taught, and I'm just telling you the things that I've been taught in, the perspective of, the people that, influence me. They always say, love the people and not the sin, because they say, well, with the Bible, it's like homosexuality is a sin, right? Just like lying or anything else we do.
Right.
Um, and so I was taught, you love people regardless, but you can love the person but not the sin. So did you ever hear that, or did people in the church ever try to ostracize you, or you felt like they were really judging you when they would say, homosexuality is wrong, or they didn't, agree with your lifestyle? How did you deal with that? Like, can you tell me some experiences?
Um, that's kind of a difficult question to answer because I did deal with that
Hmm.
from a couple of youth directors and things like that. But at the same time, it was also nobody else that looked like me at the same time or had my body shape. So I don't know if I really don't know. Well, just in that perspective, although outside of the church, when I did go on the streets or whatever, yeah, people would tell me, "Oh, you're going to hell. You're gay." All of this, so it was a hard pill to swallow because it's like I grew up in Christianity, and Christianity does teach people that they're going to go to hell, you know,
Hmm.
for being gay. When in actuality, God made us all. He doesn't. He says, "Come as you are," you know,
Hmm.
and I felt like the church sometimes pushed uh, me away or other people who were like me away
Hmm.
uh, because of that, what it says in the Bible,
Hmm.
which is not actually God like. How you going to push away someone just because of their sexuality? What does that have to do with anything?
Hmm. Because, to be honest with you, you can go to hell for anything that is not according to God, like his
Right,
will, like
right,
lying. You can go for gossiping.
right,
So there's plenty. We can go down the list, and I think what the church needs to do on a lot of things. I'm not saying don't call things out for what, if they believe in the word, if they believe the Bible's the word of God, believe
right,
it, follow it the best that you
right,
can. But at the same time, deal with the speck in your eye first before you
Right.
try to deal with somebody else's. That's how
Right.
I look at it. I can't call you out a lot. I mean, I can tell you what the Bible says. It's not like you don't. Most of the time, most people know it because they've read it before. So I can tell you what maybe God might expect, because if we saying that his Bible is his word, but at the same time, if I got my own stuff I got to deal with, like gossiping, like
Right.
anger and cussing
Judging.
people out and rage, right?
Yeah. Slander.
So
Well, not saying you,
slander,
but you. Yeah.
slander,
Right.
all of that, you're going to be judged on. So it's good, yes, to correct people if you're going to, if you're going to base it on the the Bible, but at the
Right.
same time deal with your own sin as well. You
Right.
understand? And that's
Right.
kind of what I was telling you. I don't want to make you feel any kind of way, because at the end of the
Yeah.
day, I have my own that I have to take account for.
Right on. I feel you.
You get what I'm
And
saying?
and and I appreciate you for being real with me and not being judgmental as well. When you said you wanted to interview me, I was excited, but I was kind of
Yeah.
scared too at the same time. I was excited because it interests you, and that
Right.
by it interesting you, it interested me,
Right.
So
It's see, what I don't like about some people in the church is they want to talk about you guys, but they're some of the same people have some of the same struggles. And I think about this story, and it actually was on Netflix. It was a young lady, when she was 18, when she met this first lady of a church.
mm,
First lady, of course, is married, to a man, right?
right,
And she was supposed to be guiding this young lady in the right direction. She was supposed to be empowering and encouraging that young lady, but instead she is having a sexual affair with an 18-year-old teenager.
wow,
And this woman could not let the pain of this woman not only taking her innocence, and she was 18, she knew right from wrong too. I'm not putting it all on that lady either. But if you're a young lady, you're very, especially in the, I would say from 13 all the way to 18, you are very you're influenced a lot by older people that you admire, that you probably put on a pedestal that you shouldn't, right?
yes,
We all done it.
yes,
And
yes,
when we look up to these people and these people are showing us some attention, you know, that that sometimes draws people in, kids in, teenagers in, and they get into situations that they didn't plan on getting into. My point
yeah,
of saying this was the lady held on to that pain of having an on and off affair with this first lady. This lady was 40 years old just this year, and I can't think of the month. She took her own life because she could not face the pain of what this lady, I guess was promising her a relationship, leaving, the woman maybe have said she was going to leave her husband or whatever. And the woman never left. That woman held on from 18 to 40, thinking that she was going to have a relationship. I do believe that there could have been some mental illness there, but also the things that happen to us, the trauma that happens to us when we are young, when we are teenagers, from
it
adults
can
that we
brainwash
trust.
you.
Yeah, that we trust, that can really brainwash us and mess us up
Yeah, it
mentally,
can.
emotionally, spiritually. So I think the people in the church sometimes have done a bad job from not protecting our children and not holding a standard. You talk about this as a sin, but you're doing it.
Right.
I
Or
can't
worse.
understand it.
Well, yeah. You know what? And I think what they're doing in their mind, because I be trying to rationalize people's thoughts and stuff like
Right.
that. I think that in their mind, they think that being gay is a worse sin. I think they think it's way worse. You know what I'm saying, than what they're doing. But also, I think people like I can't say just Christians, but I can say that they're very persistent in pushing their beliefs on to people. You
Mhm.
know, they're not very respective of other cultures. What about the other cultures out there? You know what I'm saying? What about the other cultures that were there before Christianity? You know, in Hinduism, this Millie taught me this. Our friend Millie
Yes.
taught me that there are in Hinduism, which is the oldest religion in the world. Okay,
Mhm.
it's 11 genders. 11.
Mm.
So with that being said, it's this gender thing. I think that more so came about when King James, came about when he changed the Bible and put all that stuff and took some stuff out. That's why, whatever. They say the Bible is incomplete, but it is complete, but it's incomplete. It's stuff
Mhm.
missing,
Okay.
but I think, that's what they're sticking to. And it's more so, I think it's just I think people are scared to first of all, people are brainwashed. I think that's what it is. I think they're brainwashed so much that they think that their religion is the only one. When in actuality, what about the rest of these cultures? You know what is interesting? I realize that in every religion or every culture, there's the same person, the same as Jesus,
Mhm.
that does great things, that heals people, and tells them about, I don't know, these different it's this different things, but it's all the same pretty much goal to me. It's all
Mhm.
enlightenment. It's all about you bettering yourself. It's all about you living according to how I guess your plan is. I don't know, your divine plan for the higher source, the God. All that is the same thing. The Most High. Uh,
Okay.
all of that is the same person to me. Jesus. It's all in every nationality, every religion. It's the same figure. Even what who is it? Muhammad,
Mhm.
uh, or in the Quran.
Mhm.
I think that's his name. Don't give me don't quote me. But
Muhammad and Allah. Is that what you're talking about?
yes,
Okay.
Allah. Yeah. So I just it's the same story,
Mhm.
or it's the same thing. So I feel like people are so more caught up in tradition instead
Mhm.
of what is it actually doing for a person? Is it changing them? Are
Mhm.
they committing any sins, or are they hurting anyone? If
Mhm.
not, then I don't know why people get so caught up on uh, what I'm doing in the bed when we talk about religion.
Mhm.
What the hell does that have to do with it?
Well, I think people need to be more worried about, their soul and for, other person, another human being. So that's fine. But what I have the issue with is, there's a right way and a wrong way to do anything and everything,
Right.
right? And
Yes,
so
yes.
how I come to you determines if you're going to receive my message or not, correct? It's going
Right.
to, and you may not agree with my message, you may not understand it, but you are willing to listen because of how I deliver it to you.
Right.
Okay. So and sometimes, yes, we got to call a spade a spade. I get it, you know what I'm saying? And I can say, yes, I believe certain things are a sin. That's what the Bible says. I didn't write it. But at the same time, how I approach you is going to determine whether or not you'll be, I would say, more prone to listen to what I have to say.
Right.
There and I always, my grandmother used to always say, and it's an old saying where it's like you get more with honey you than with vinegar. You know what I'm saying? And I don't
Yeah.
know the verbatim, but and it's true. How
It
you
is. Yeah.
approach people, it really can go a long way with you, bad or good. And that's
Yeah.
why, whether I agree with somebody or not on certain things, I'm not going to ever try to be disrespectful to that person and be ugly
Exactly.
to that person.
And that's what it's all about. And see, that's what well, I don't want to just throw Christians in that bunch like that.
Yeah, because
But
it's all people, Muslims
yeah.
feel, and the thing about it, and this is what I want you to understand too, just because some people don't agree with it, that doesn't all the time mean that they're haters either. And I think
Exactly.
that we have to be careful that you have to allow people to have their opinion, but that doesn't mean that they're hating or haters of a person. They just don't
Right.
agree with a certain thing or a lifestyle. But
Right.
there is some people that will hate you because
Yes.
of your lifestyle. Those are the people that they should not even be considered to be a Christian, because when Jesus came, he came to save the lost. He came
Yeah.
to save people, tax collectors, want some of the most hated people, tax collectors, prostitutes, all of these people that are just regular people that have made bad decisions in their life. He didn't come to save perfect people. And that's
Not to
what people need to
mention Moses
understand.
was a murderer. Remember?
Right. Murderer, liar. You had King David going around killing a man to get his wife. You know what I'm saying? To hide getting his wife pregnant. But you had all of these different people in the Bible that have had issues, that have had major character flaws. It
Yeah.
is a part of human nature. We came in this world sinful. And that's what I just want people to understand. You don't have to agree with someone. You can
Yeah.
tell how you see it, your opinion, or how you believe that it is, that, if you are a believer, but there is a right and a wrong way to do anything. And
Yes,
I
you're
think
right.
people need to be respectful of that. But on the flip side of that, when people are telling you things and they are respectful and they may not agree with what you agree with, that does not mean that they hate you. That
Right.
doesn't,
Right.
yeah. So that's a flip side to that too.
Yeah.
I
And it's
just wanted to
also
say that.
it's also a flip side to how they approach you as well too.
Yeah,
Because
I
sometimes
agree.
people approach you and they projecting the energy onto you.
Yeah, they're rude.
Yeah, so I project that right back, and then they walk off. It's a
Exactly.
way to do things. I
Exactly.
always tell people, I give you the same energy you're gonna give me.
Exactly.
You decide what, if it's gonna be good or bad.
I said
Because
that the
it can
other
get
day.
bad. I don't mind it getting bad.
I match people's energy, so it depends on how you want to play. You know
Exactly.
what I'm
And you know
saying?
what?
So,
That's another thing too. People can tell when the vibe is off, or when the energy is not good. You know,
mhm,
it's a feeling. You can't deny it. So
right.
I think it's important for us to not take on that energy when people do that to us,
Mhm,
but instead give them exactly what they give you, because that's not what they want.
right.
You giving them the same
John.
energy back that you didn't ask for.
Right, John. And
Yeah.
that's really what I wanted to say to you on that. Like I said, I wanted you to come on here to tell your story, to inform people whether they agree with people's lifestyles or not, or your lifestyle or not. I want people to know that, hey, why people do what they do. I've always been interested in that. And I told you that when I was talking to you. I said, I'm
Yeah.
really interested in how people think about this subject. People don't
Wait,
like talking about it.
because we talked for a long time.
Yeah.
Look, y'all,
You
listen. She did not walk out, but the conversation was that interesting, though.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
it
And so
was.
it was just like, what do you want people to know about you? What do you want people to understand about John?
I want to not just about me. I just want people to ask questions. If you won't know until you ask. Don't just automatically assume someone's story. You know, always ask, and but just know that when you ask, you open yourself up to whatever that answer is. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So a lot of people aren't ready necessarily for, everybody has a different story. I just want people to walk away and just know not to judge people. Don't judge nobody. And if you wanna know, ask.
Mhm.
That's my policy. Just ask me. Cause if you don't ask me, I'm gonna give you the runaround. I'm gonna play games with you.
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So yeah, I like people to ask me. I like people to be bold. Be bold and ask. Why not?
Right.
You want to know? You ain't gonna know until you ask.
I'm telling you, because I'm one nosy heifer. I ask the person in a minute, but I try to be very respectful of people, and and
Yeah.
be like, so can you explain to me, like,
And
what is that about?
and you know what? I'm so glad that I'm in a space to where I'm open and free, because it was a point where I wasn't as receptive as I am right now. You know what I'm saying? It was a point
Mhm,
where I would get offended. But
mhm.
I'm past all that. I done been offended so many times. I have instant offense to go back with you.
How did you get? How did you get there though, John? Because I'm pretty sure people ask you some very strange questions. Like, how did you get to the point where it's like, you know what? It's like water on a duck's back.
I had to stop running from the questions, because people are asking questions that I never had thought of.
Hmm.
So uh, once I came to grips with myself and was comfortable with myself, the questions began to be, I never thought about that. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So
right.
it was more so kind of like therapy, I guess, in a sense. People
Hmm.
asking me, and I'm telling them exactly what it is, and they're always interested. They always want to they always want to know more, and yeah. But I respect anyone that asks me anything.
Oh, okay.
Don't naturally assume anything. You
Right.
gotta ask me to get the answer. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Hmm. What I would want to ask you this, you talked about how you matches people energy, and but then there's the other side where you're like, but I am learning to not be so offended. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
you already know people are going to wonder. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
like I told you, when I saw you, I was like, oh, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know how to understand or process what I was seeing.
But by you, see, this is, I pick up on context clues. Everybody's not like me though. I pick
Uh-huh.
up on context clues, and how some people may not know how to articulate what it is they want to ask. So
Uh-huh.
I kind of picked it up off of you, that you didn't want to offend me, but I was in Millie's shop, and Millie loved me. You know what I'm saying? I've been knowing Millie for like 13 years, by the way.
Right,
Uh,
right, right.
oh yeah, we talked about that. We talked about that. But yeah, so it was more so that I'm already naturally comfortable with anybody in Millie's presence, or just
Uh-huh.
anybody that she has. It's never a bad person I've seen.
Right.
Not, you know what I'm saying? So, anyway, so it was just more so about the energy. I knew that you were interested, because I was already talking to you, and I was like, I think she just wants her alone time. This is what I was thinking in my head. I was like, she just wants her alone time with Millie. Let me just be quiet and let Millie just do her thing, right? And and then when you got up and you started talking, I was like, oh, she's really interested. I can't say that I didn't think that you were serious when we were talking, when you were laying down, getting your eyebrows done. But when you got up and you actually looked at me, and that's another thing. When people actually look at you, engage, and look into your eyes, that's a sign of being truthful as well.
Mm-hmm.
So when people engage with you like that, when you engage with me like that, they let me know that you genuinely want to know, you know,
Yeah, I did.
and yeah,
I did, John. And like I said, it's so many times I have judged someone. I think everybody has judged someone in a
yes,
maybe harsh way, and we're not sure, but what we're seeing, or what we feel, we just I don't know about this person, and we judge people harshly without trying to understand. And now I'm not gonna say I'm gonna say 95% of the time I'm right. Sometimes when I see certain
right,
things
right.
or observe certain things,
I feel the same way. I feel the
but
same way.
I do think that there has been some times where I have been so judgmental. I have maybe overlooked some good people because John, you
Yeah,
trying to catch a fly.
I bet I'm trying to catch this fly. Let's keep flying. I'm sick of this.
You
I'm
know,
sorry.
that's
Anyway,
okay. I need
keep
you
going.
to
Keep going.
focus. Focus. But there has been times where I have been wrong and I've judged people unfairly. And
Right.
I found out that, hey, I probably missed out on a good person because I was going by what I thought rather than trying to understand it a little bit more. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Right.
I think that's really I think that's where we need to sometimes pay attention to that when we're doing that, So um I'm really happy that you came through. I want to ask you one last thing before now. You are into some different type of practices that maybe some people are familiar with. Um and it's kind of like you kind of do a little counseling as well. I
Right.
want you to tell me a little bit about your practice that you do because that's totally different from coming from a church, because church forbids this. So with you coming from a church and then going into this, I want you to take me to that part, that journey of you getting into uh your practice that you do, and I want you to expound on that.
All right. So I like to label myself as a healer, or an artist, or something along those lines, right?
Mhm.
But I can say, all right. Let's see. Back in what year was that? It had to have been like 2000. I don't know. I used to be Erica Badu's hairstylist.
Mhm.
Her hairstylist that put her in those dreadlocks when she first came out. Her
Mhm.
name is Isis Brantley, and so she also has a school, and so I actually took classes, a 3 day course, um, to practice with her,
Okay.
and it ended up turning into three years basically, and
Wow.
so during that time, it's basically her religion is a Yoruba religion, which is like Santeria, which is
Mhm. And this is
basically older,
ISIS.
right?
Okay.
And so it's several different types of divination that she does, or that comes with that religion, and she's also a high priestess in the religion, by the way.
Okay.
And so I got more so familiar then with that. I had never seen tarot or other than Miss Cleo,
Yeah.
and it was interesting. It was just, I don't know. I Yeah, it was just interesting. So that was the first time I had gotten exposed to that, like live, And so I'd say maybe 10, 12, let me see, about 12 years passed by, right?
Mhm.
After I had seen her do a reading with someone.
Mhm.
And I'm by myself, by the way. And I don't know, someone just told me to get a tarot deck. And I get a tarot deck, and it's literally a year before quarantine. And so I'm studying this because I'm interested in it, or whatever. So I'm doing my own readings,
Mhm.
and during quarantine, we didn't have nothing to do,
Mhm.
so I just every card means something in tarot, basically. So I just got well versed. I just studied. I
Mhm.
studied, and tarot is basically based off of your intuition, so you have to be very in touch with your spiritual guides, and just that other realm. You can't be really scared of it, because the message is going to come, basically. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
um, I don't know. I know it's a taboo subject, but uh, I don't know. I feel like, well, later on, I found out that tarot originated from Egypt.
Mhm.
So it's just another form of divination, or asking the spirits. Basically, you're talking to the spirit world, which really exists. Beyond ghosts and all that people think or whatever. I've always believed that. I've always known about the Holy Ghost.
Mhm.
Uh, and God, the Father and the Son, basically,
Mhm.
which clearly they have to be invisible, right? We've never really seen any of those three.
Right.
Uh, I think it was more so. Did I get it? Damn. I,
You crazy.
I think it was more so of me kind of getting shunned from Christianity and pushing myself into other spiritualities and other
Mm.
religions and things like that that let me be more comfortable with uh tarot, I guess, per se. And I don't know, it was just something that I was I don't know, I was drawn to. I was
Mhm.
really drawn to it. And so I started doing readings during quarantine. And although I had been doing intuitive readings, but my intuitive readings without cards were scaring people. And so I was like, that's actually the real reason why I wanted to do tarot. I said I got to learn these cards because I'm scaring people with these readings I'm giving them and telling them what's going on in their life, and they looking at me like, how did you know this shit? So
Mhm.
I actually kind of needed proof. So that's why I actually really learned tarot, so that I could have proof of what I was saying along with the messages that I was getting. Because
Okay.
I've always gotten messages. But as I guess as I steered past Christianity, I got it more so in tune with my spiritual side. I
Okay.
more so started listening to, because I don't know, it's kind of like a detaching. I don't know, it's like a deprogramming, detaching, or trying to incorporate other religions. Even though had grown up in Christianity, it was I can't really explain it, but it was I had to come to a realization that this is basically the same thing. It's basically in every religion. It's a religious leader that's like Jesus. So that's what helped me, keep me sane and let me know that there's a good and a bad to every side. So I don't necessarily not pick up on any bad energy or anything like that. But I
Mhm.
always tell people don't ask me when someone's gonna die. I do have stipulations, don't ask me when someone's gonna die. Don't ask me how they gonna die. Don't ask me no date. Don't ask me nothing around those questions. I keep it friendly, and I let people see that it doesn't have to be spooky, because I know people think it's spooky. Like, oh my God, you're gonna tell me my future. You're gonna tell me my past.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Let me ask you this question. You felt kind of shunned from the church because they didn't agree with your lifestyle. Is that true? And then you just kind of went into something that was more um I'm not saying it, it was, you felt more accepting to go into this type of spirituality with the tarot cards, with the, are you into Santeria, or are you a
Okay, so excuse me. So I have every nationality in the world in my DNA. So
Mhm.
I just made a post on YouTube yesterday. I said, you know what? For y'all's information, I practice everything, whatever's in my DNA. I practice that spirituality for that DNA.
Okay.
So I incorporate it all. I try to stick to the lighter side of all of it. You know,
Hmm.
and yeah, and because it's all about your intention, with everything. So I
Hmm.
just I try to stick to the lighter side of all of that, try to, yeah, basically. But dang, it was a point I was gonna say earlier. uh but you just asked the question. Could you
Well, I
read?
was asking a question about how you were saying that you kind of stared away from
Yes,
Christianity, and that's
right.
what I wanted to know. Like, was it because they were not accepting of your lifestyle, and so you got into something, some other type of spirituality that you felt like you could connect with more? That's
So
basically what
so
I'm
it was coupled with that, but it was also coupled with that as a kid growing up in the church school,
asking.
right? There's a lot of questions that I had that I didn't get answered,
Uh-huh.
and I had a teacher teaching me Christianity, and
Hmm.
she didn't have the answers. So it was my teacher not actually having the answers that I'm looking for as a kid, right?
Hmm.
It kind of made me believe that uh
she don't know what she's talking about, or it's
She didn't know
not.
what she was talking about, and
Yeah.
also why do I need to be? Why is this religion for me? As a kid, that's how I used to think.
Okay.
Like if you can't tell me, if you can't answer my questions, why are you teaching me this shit? I mean,
Mhm.
that's where I was. So I kind of disbelieved. I kind of didn't believe it, to be honest with you. I
Cause she
kind of, it was
couldn't
fortunate
really,
that I just didn't believe.
right? Cause
Nobody
she couldn't
explained it to
explain.
me. You didn't give me no answer, and I don't believe it.
Oh, okay. Well,
You
but
know, as a
this,
kid though, so
but now you have gone into some spiritual. I would say you felt like you're spiritual awake now
yeah,
because
yeah.
you've gone into some other practices that maybe you can understand or you can connect with better. Is that kind of where you
Well,
are?
coupled with also the experiences I've been experiencing in my life as a gay male and as be being like nobody else I know,
Yes.
coupled with all of that and coupled with the experiences that I had with people, you know, uh, with all religions, people judge, basically,
Mhm.
and so it was um, it wasn't necessarily just the religion part. It was more so that uh, hmm, I guess it just wasn't for me. I wasn't getting basically I was getting shunned because I was gay. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And I wasn't getting my answers. I don't know. I just felt like let me just go study some other religions. This just I don't know. This is what I was thinking. Let me go study some other religions because or just let me go back to history and see where Christianity came from. Christianity, but without the Bible, right?
Mhm.
Christianity, I read up on that, and then I realized that Christianity stemmed from Santeria. And then I read that Santeria stemmed from Yoruba because it came from Africa. When they put the slaves on the slave ship, they didn't want them worshiping no black gods. So they turned it to Catholicism, you know what I'm saying? And
Okay.
it was just all of that, so
Okay, John, you going far. Now some of that I'm gonna disagree with you on, but we're gonna save that for a later time. I really
right. That's
want
why
you
I
to.
told you it was gonna be a
I
part two.
yeah. I mean, I'm just gonna be 100 with you. Like some things, I'm like, nah, buddy, but I got you. It's all in love. I want you to come back, and
Yes.
actually, I want to do a live on
Okay.
Halloween. I want to do a live on Halloween where we can talk about. I want to have somebody on the opposite end, and I want to have some. I want to have two people or a few people on the opposites. And
Okay. Yeah. Let's
have
do it.
I want to have a debate because I think we can go somewhere with this because I kind of like that you're open to conversation. You're
I'm
not
open,
easily
baby.
offended.
I'm
Uh,
not. I'm not offended by nothing.
and I want to have you to come back on my live. And I
Okay.
want you to come back Thursday, matter of fact.
Okay. Okay.
I
You
think
want same time?
I'm either gonna probably do a 7 to 7:30.
Okay. Okay.
So
Perfect. Perfect.
but I'll try to figure it out, because I'm in school, so I got a lot and I'm working, so I got a lot going on too. But I'm thinking 7 or 7:30. I want you to come back and I'm gonna tell you more about it a little later. But I want to have a discussion because Halloween is coming up and
Yes.
it's a lot of stuff going on.
Woo, I'm staying
In
in, girl. I ain't going
Yeah,
nowhere.
it's a lot of stuff going on in the atmosphere. I can feel it, and it's not good. So a lot of things are out there, and I want someone that believes like you,
Yes.
that wants to have somebody on the opposite end, and I want to have a debate, not a debate, but I want to have a discussion.
Yes.
I really want some things to be discovered and thought about, and hey,
I'm
let's just
down for it. I'm
talk.
down for it. I'm here, baby. I'll do it. I'm there.
Okay,
I'm there.
so and I'll tell you more about it when I call you. I
Okay.
probably won't call. I'll call you, God willing, tomorrow, and so we can kind of go over it. But I want to have some people on my platform that
Okay.
want to have hey Marissa, that want to have a discussion about the differences of beliefs and
Yes.
Halloween and all of this kind of stuff, because some people that don't believe in Halloween, they don't like Halloween, they say it's the devil's day. Some people don't mind, but even with you being a spiritualist, you may not be a believer or a Christian or whatever, that there's things that's going on in the atmosphere.
Absolutely.
You
Yes.
know it. So
Yes. Yes. Yes.
anybody that whatever side they're on, they know. So
Yes. Yes.
it's nothing unusual, but a lot of people don't believe in the spiritual realm. They just think it's all we're just here, they just believe in just science all the way. So I'm really curious about this, and I really want to have this discussion. I think it would be great. I think it would be exciting, and I would love for you to come back Thursday.
Okay, definitely. Most definitely. I'll definitely be there Thursday. I'll be
Okay.
right here.
Well, did you have fun?
I did have fun. Yes.
Okay. So I didn't scare you too much, did I?
Nah, you didn't scare me too much. You know what? I tried to answer all the questions. I said, you know what? No matter what she asked me, I'm gonna answer it.
You did a great job. And this is Solange. Is that how you pronounce it? That your
Hey,
sister?
Solange.
She said she is proud of you. So
Thank
thank
you,
you. And
Solange.
Solange, I would love for your brother to come back on Thursday. I think and if you would like to join the panel, you are more than welcome.
I
I
think
want
me
to
and
have.
Solange have the same birthday. Or
Oh,
her
what is
date
your
of
birthday?
December 27th.
Oh, okay. So you're a December baby. Okay.
Yeah.
So I would love for you guys to come back. Like I said, I'm gonna have an open panel. We're gonna talk.
Okay.
We're gonna talk about some things, and it's gonna be some people that's not gonna agree with certain things, and people
Right.
some gonna
I'm
agree.
good for that,
Okay, so I want you to definitely come back up. And like I said, it's going to be open panel. So I will have a few people to come up and tell us how you feel, how you see things.
Right. Okay.
Lon said December the 16th. Oh, okay.
She older than I am. That's my elder.
Oh, okay.
We the same age. We the same age. We the same
Okay. And see, my birthday is late
age.
November.
Okay.
Late November. So
What we
yeah,
gonna do for your birthday?
you know what? I know I want to go out to eat, but I know I want to do something really fun because my birthday is actually on a Monday. So
Okay.
I want to go out to eat on Monday, and then I want to have go out and have a good time dancing, eating on that weekend. So
Okay.
that's usually how I want to do it. But yeah, so it is gonna be my season after a while.
Yes, it is. Yes.
So yes, indeed. But I
Okay.
appreciate you
So
guys.
you're Sagittarius or you're a Scorpio?
That's what they say. I don't really go by that, but they say I'm a Sag. So
Hey, come on, man. Okay. Great.
that's
I
what
love
they say. But
Sagittarius.
hey, I always say I'm just Selena. That's all. I'm just Selena. A little spicy Selena. But thank you so much. And I appreciate you, John, for coming up. Would you like to put your Cash App in the chat? Let me put it in the chat, John.
Okay.
If
Yeah.
anybody would like to bless him monetarily, again, John, it's the first of the month for me, so I'm stretching right now, but I'm gonna bless you eventually once I get my little money together. I'm gonna bless you and show you some love. But anybody else that would like to, you put it in the back chat. Let me
Oh
see if I
shit.
can.
What chat am I
Okay,
supposed to put it
you
in? The
put it in the
comments?
put it in the comments so people can see it.
All
If
right,
they
let's see. Yeah.
Let me try to see if I can do it. If y'all would like to bless my boy John, please do.
I don't even know how to
Um,
get back to it, girl. Let me
that's
see.
okay. Let me see. I think I can. Let me see if I can paste it.
Oh,
Oh
I see it
yes,
now.
I did. I did it.
I didn't even join the chat.
Yeah, I did it. I did it already, John. If y'all
Oh,
would like to bless him monetarily, please do. This is his
thank
Cash
you.
App. Show him some love. Show him some love, guys. He was nice enough to share his time with us and tell us his story. It took a lot of guts to be upfront about, your sexuality and just a lot of different things on how you discovered, sex and everything like that. It took a lot it will take a lot for anybody. So thank you so much for your courage and just being you. Okay.
Thank you for
And
having me. Thank you for inviting
yes,
me.
indeed. I'm so thankful. And I hopefully Millie is watching, or she'll come back and see the playback.
Yes, I can't wait for the playback, girl. I'm gonna go watch this.
Yeah.
So how do I get the playback?
Well, so you go on my channel,
Okay.
and you can share it. You can go back and look at it. Or if you would like to share it, there's a button where you can share it and you can send it to people. Or you
Okay.
can also put it on your community wall. Also,
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'll do
okay.
that for
Also,
sure.
yeah, share it on your community wall. And guys, can you tell us what your hey Cushman, can you tell us your name, the name of the channel, so I can put it in the chat or get one of my mods to put it in there?
All right, so it's 000 Flame Tarot. It has flames before and after it.
Mhm.
Let's see. Uh, shit.
If you put it in
Damn.
the back chat, I can probably put it up for you because I know you can't really connect to the comment section.
All right, I'll put it in the back chat. Let me put it in the back chat.
Okay. And I'll go ahead and share it. And for those who are interested in that, I already told John, that ain't my cup of tea, but hey, teach his own. But I want to make sure that people, if they are interested, they want to, I want to make sure that they know your channel. Let me put it in here. Let's see. And like I said, you can respect people's differences. Everybody's not going to believe the same. Everybody's not going to get into the same thing. But I appreciate the person, and that's why I said I appreciate you for taking the time to come through and show me some love. So
Yes, thank you for having me. I appreciate you inviting me, and
yeah, okay, she
and being
commanded.
respectful, girl. You was respectful. I mean, I didn't get offended by anything you asked. So.
Thank you. That blesses my heart. Like I said, I like to tell people the truth and love, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying? You also have to respect people way of
Yes.
thinking too. You can't just, oh no. You have to be respectful. I believe a conversation, what they said, conversation rules a nation. And really
Yes.
conversation needs to be respectful.
Yes.
You can respectfully disagree without being rude or
Exactly.
antagonistic to a person. And yeah, that's how I see things. And I always wanted to, whoever comes on my live, whoever I interact with, I don't want them to feel like, oh my God, I just met the rudest person on YouTube.
Right.
I want
Right
them
on.
to feel comfortable, and I want them to feel like, hey, I'm transparent. Sometimes I'm transparent because I ain't telling all these folks my business. People crazy, but
You're right.
I'm open to the fact that I'm open to learning about people and a
Right.
person, individual. That's what I'm open to. I don't have to be open to certain things, but as far as a person, I feel like people need to really be a little bit more open to getting to know a person. That's what
Yes.
I feel.
I believe that as well. Yes. Yes.
Forget
Yes.
about people's sexual orientation. That's between you and God. They ain't got nothing to do with me. You know what I'm
Nothing.
saying?
Right.
You
Right.
know,
And I think that messes up a lot of people's potential relationships as well, too, whether they're
yeah.
platonic or whatever. Yeah.
Like I said, it's okay to share your beliefs and your opinion. Just remember, you are talking to another human being, and you just how you
Right.
want somebody to come to you, you got to come to them that way. So,
Exactly.
that's all I'm saying. But I appreciate you, John. And I almost call you John, but I call somebody else John, so I can't give you his name. But I was gonna call you John. But I'm so happy that you came through. If you want to drop down, you're more than welcome to drop down, or because I'm just gonna say my last little bit to my people and
Okay.
go on from there. But I appreciate you, John, and be looking for a call tomorrow from me, God willing.
Yes.
We're
Thank
gonna
you.
get this. We're gonna get this started. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Selena. I
All right.
appreciate
Thank
you.
you.
All right. Y'all have a good night. Thank y'all for listening.
Yeah. Thank you so
All right.
much.
All
Bye.
right. Bye.
Well, shout out to John. Shout out to him. Thank you so much, John, for coming through. I can't say it more than enough. Thank you. Some of my subscribers, you might not be like, oh, I don't understand this, but I am a person that likes to interview and get to know individuals. And you don't have to agree with people's way of being or lifestyle or whatever, but it is good to have conversations to have an understanding. That's all I'm about. But I just want to have an understanding and see how they are the way they are. Why are they the way they are? I'm nosy. I want to know. So I'm just thankful that he was open enough to give us this information. And really, to be honest with you, he had to have a lot of courage to do it, because some people are scared. They're scared of being judged. They're scared of people not accepting them. So there's a lot of different factors on why people don't share their story. But I'm thankful that John did decide to share his story. So shout out to him. Shout out to the people in the chat. Everybody was really cool. Everybody was really respectful. Thank you, Solange. I appreciate you. Everybody was really respectful, and I thank you so much for being respectful. That's what I'm about. Everybody being respectful to each other. So unless people get disrespectful, then you have to, like I said, you have to match people's energy. So you guys be blessed, and remember, if nobody else don't appreciate you, I appreciate you, and for coming through, and love you guys to Reese's Pieces. Talk to you guys later.
Selena.
It's a vibe, baby. Oak Cliff girl, can't make you change my world. Damn, you're so fine, girl. Oak Cliff girl, put them heels on and prove.
Welcome to Selena's Couch, where you are welcome to be free to be yourself. So you can lay your head on my couch, on my pillows.
It's all good, we can do whatever we wanna do now. I'm in my bag right now, and I got a feeling, babe, yeah. You're gonna be my number one lover. Spend the night making love to each other, with the lights on top of the covers, just me and you, babe. And I feel like you're my
Love you to Reese's Pieces.
Get you a word. Nana boo boo.